Hello, everyone out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and we're going to talk some more about Sex and the City. That's right, Sex and the City, that wonderful show from late 90s, early 2000s. I have reviewed all 94 episodes of Sex and the City. I'm very proud of that. I also reviewed the last movie, the Sex and the City movie, the one from 2008. I already reviewed that one. And I reviewed that piece of shit and Just Like Crap that came out recently. And all those videos are on this channel if you want to see what I thought about them. But we're not talking about those. Right now, we're going to talk about Sex and the City, the movie part 2, the sequel to the 2008 movie, which honestly is not as good. It's not that good. Okay, but it's there. It was a cash grab. That's what I think. I think they just offered a lot of money because the first movie made a lot of money. All the fans were excited to see the girls again. The show had been canceled 4 years earlier, so we hadn't seen these characters in a while. So they brought them back for the movie. The movie was a hit. So they said, oh, we got to make another movie right away. So 2 years later, they came out with this movie, and it's not that good. It's a piece of shit. It really is. The characters don't act realistic. It's just like another episode, like an inconsequential episode. Nobody gets a character development. Nobody gets anything that important happen in their lives. Okay, it's just they're just going basically on a trip, on a vacation. Whoopie doo. Okay, their kids are inconsequential. Their marriages are inconsequential. It's all about the girl power bullshit. Okay, but yeah, that's what it's about. Okay. Now, I'm Diego, and what I do is I give you here a straight man's point of view, which means that I'm going to talk to you the way I would talk to a normal human being, okay? I've been a fan of the show since the very beginning, okay, back when I was in my 20s, a long time ago when the episodes first came out, and I'm still a fan today, okay? I care about this franchise, which is the reason why I get pissed off when they don't do it right, okay, what I think is right. Okay, I know these characters very well. My biggest problem is the way they treat the straight guys in the show. They're not realistic. And even in this movie, the men are not acting like real men. They're acting like wishy-washy simps, okay, with no fucking backbone, okay? No, that's not the way real men are, okay? At least not most men. All right, and we don't get any of that here. Okay, so we just get a bunch of bullshit cartoon characters of what men are like, and the girls themselves are now they're not believable or realistic. They're all rich, white, privileged, but they act like they have nothing, even though their clothes they're wearing are in the tens of thousands of dollars. Okay, but they act like they're part of the fucking the toxic masculinity out there. They're victims of the toxic masculinity, even though they fucking are privileged as fuck and they have everything going for them. Okay, there's a lot of women out there that don't have anywhere near the resources, the agency, or the benefits that these women have, the privileges that these women have. Okay, but they're gonna complain about how they don't have the important things in life. You know, fuck you. Okay, all of you are fucking rich, privileged. You can do whatever the fuck you want, man. And you're living in the freest country in the whole fucking world, so fuck you, and your fucking feminism, okay? It's easy to be a feminist when you fucking have everything. It's a lot harder when you don't have anything, okay? And there's a lot more fucking poor women out there that don't have any of the shit that you have, okay? So you don't speak for all the fucking women like you try to act like you do on this fucking show. But then again, the show wasn't even written by women. It was written by gay guys, okay? So that should tell you something right there. All right. So when we left off here, Big told Carrie that he wanted to take 2 days off a week from her, okay, because that's what she did to him. She hung out her old apartment to write an article for Vogue magazine. Okay, and he says he wants to do that too because there's things that he wants to do, but he can't do it because this fucking bitch of a wife won't let him. So he's like, hey, listen, I get 2 days off a week. That way I can do the things I want to do, and that way you can do the things that you want to do. And the other 5 days we'll be together doing stuff together. I think it'll be great for our marriage. Well, now she sees it as a red flag that maybe her marriage is coming to an end. Now, her behavior in this marriage, she does not even acknowledge that or take responsibility for. No, it's all his fault, okay, that her marriage might be in trouble, okay? It's all about the bullshit that he does. Not anything that she did. She did nothing wrong. It's all about him, okay? You see what I mean? And that's the message that we're getting here, okay? But he basically tells her point blank, like, hey, listen, it's, I feel like I'm disappointing you. And something's bothering you, and it's not me. It's something, Now she nailed it on the head. She's like, are you doing this just because I'm a bitchy, naggy wife? Well, yeah, it is, but he can't say that because he's got to make her happy. He can't hurt her feelings. Of course not, His feelings don't matter. She can hurt his, that's fine. But he can't hurt her feelings because that would be sexist, wouldn't it? Okay, so even though he fucking pays for everything in that fucking apartment, he's not even allowed to put his feet on the couch. And on a couch that he fucking paid for himself. All right, but anyway, so that's going on here. Samantha got invited to go to Abu Dhabi to fucking vacation, basically, and then maybe do some business over there for some chic. some publicity stuff that he produced Smith Jarrett's last movie. By the way, we'll never see Smith Jarrett again. Okay. Charlotte's afraid to go, but she ends up going, and she decides to go anyway. She's afraid that her sexy nanny that she hired is going to fuck her husband while she's gone, and she wants to keep an eye on that. But she needs a nanny because even though she doesn't work and hasn't worked in 8 years, she taking care of her kids is too stressful for her. She can't handle it, so she needs to hire somebody to do it full time. Okay. And Miranda quit her job because of sexism. Apparently, she's the only female attorney in New York City. Okay, so because of that, she gets ostracized, and the men in her office put the hand in front of her when she's talking, which is something I would love to do a lot, but she can't handle it, so she fucking quit her job. All right, so now we're all caught up, all right? Okay, so the next day, after Big told Carrie about his idea about getting his own apartment, they're talking about it some more during breakfast, okay? And she tells him, hey, listen, when I tell the girls that you want 2 days off a week in your own place, they're not going to understand. And he says, well, I don't care if they understand or not, okay? Just like, this is about me and you, not about them. He's like, this is me and you, just like it says in this watch here that you got me for our anniversary. It says here, me and you. Okay, that's what I'm talking about, okay? This is about me and you, all right? He's like, we're adults and we have no kids, okay? We have the luxury to design our own lives, okay? And so Carrie says, okay, well, instead of buying an apartment that's a waste of money, just use my place. You can use my place for your 2 days off a week. All right? Until at least temporarily, until I figure this thing out. Until I decide how I feel about this. Okay, good to go. Now she goes to the airport. All right, so she goes there. It's a luxury airline. She points out that they have Arabian Pringles there. They don't really have seats. They have cubicles. Okay, so it's kind of like little rooms inside the plane, which is kind of cool. Everything's expensive, of course. They get fed dates there. Okay, and Miranda brings all these books on United Arab Emirates. Like their culture, the language. She tries to study up on the words. All this is last minute, of course. She's the one in the movie that gives everyone the history lesson of what they're looking at and what it means and what it's called. That's Miranda's job in this movie. Okay, Charlotte's there too. But like I said, she didn't really want to go because she's afraid her husband's going to fuck the sexy nanny that she hired. Okay, and of course, Miranda brought an Us magazine, and the cover story is the scandal of when Jude Law cheated on Sienna Miller with the nanny. Okay, yeah, so of course, Charlotte's like, so she grabs the magazine and fucking locks herself up in the cubicle. Okay, so that's going on. Later on the plane ride, the girls all go up to the bar inside the plane. They're all drinking Cosmos. Of course, that's all they ever fucking drink, right? Okay, and she talks to them about what her and Big decided. They drink the Cosmos, and Carrie tells them that about the 2 days off thing, and Charlotte doesn't approve of it, but Miranda does. They say that marriage is work. No. She says Charlotte tells Carrie, "You're making it sound like your marriage is work, or your marriage is a job." And then Miranda says, well, it's not a job, but it's definitely work. Okay, that's why now that she quit her job and she has time to be at home with her kid and her husband, she'd rather just fucking go to Abu Dhabi instead. Of course, priorities, right, Miranda? Of course, and you have a fucking nanny and a housekeeper too, so don't fucking act like you're stressed out being a mom. Okay, fuck you. All right. So that's going on here. Carrie says Big and I want to make up our own rules, despite what society expects. And then she tells them, Charlotte, the speech verbatim, what Big told her earlier in the morning. We're adults without kids. We have the luxury to design our own lives. Okay, so that's going on. And Charlotte's like, well, doesn't it hurt that he wants time off from you? Carrie's like, you don't get it, Charlotte. Okay, Samantha leaves. She goes to sleep. She talks about all these fucking vitamins she's going to buy when she gets there. They're made of yams. Who gives a shit? Okay, well, they arrive in Arabia. They finally get there. Okay, Customs confiscates all of fucking Samantha's vitamins because she bought all these vitamins that she's taking every day because Suzanne Summers told her to in her fucking book Breakthrough. Yeah, fucking Chrissy Snow from fucking Three's Company and the promoter of the Thigh Master is now telling fucking Samantha how to live her life. Okay, this woman who fucking her cheated on both of her husbands. Okay, and was a fucking alcoholic. okay, and who got fired from Three's Company because she wanted more money, okay, because she thought that she was the reason people turned into the show. No, it wasn't. But anyway, that's her life advice, fucking counselor there. Okay, so yeah, Chrissy, yeah. So they arrive in Arabia, whatever. The Sheikh's brother is there to show them around, get them through customs and all that. He presents each one of these women is going to get their own fucking car, driven by their own chauffeur. Okay, so now these girls are like, oh my god, of course they are. They're in fucking fantasy land now. Okay, Miranda says like, hey girls, come on, we got a lot of Abu Dhabi to do. Ha ha ha. Yeah, she's all excited about being there and being away from her fucking family. It makes her happy. All right, so it is beautiful there, by the way. I've never been to Abu Dhabi, but I had an ex-girlfriend that she used to have to go to Dubai like 3 times a year for her job. Okay, and she would show me pictures, and we would FaceTime each other when she was there and stuff like that. It's beautiful over there. It really is. Okay, but yeah, you gotta have a lot of money to set foot in that country. Oh yeah. Okay. Everyone there is filthy fucking rich, at least in the cities. In the outskirts, they're not, but in the main cities, they're all fucking super rich. All right, all that fucking oil money. Okay, so it's beautiful there. The women are all covered. They're all wearing that shit around their face. I forgot what it's called. It's called a niqab. Niqab. Yeah, they're all wearing niqabs around their face. They can't show their face. Yeah, typical Arabian women. So they're greeted there at the hotel. The hotel is like a palace. It's like this beautiful fucking Arabian Nights palace. Okay, they get greeted by the hotel manager. I've seen him before. He's always the fucking Arab guy, the Arab Danny DeVito. He's shown up in a lot of stuff. He was in the Mummy movies and stuff. He just shows up in a lot of things. Okay, royalty. Yeah, so that's going on here, and they treat him like royalty. They do. Okay, once they get there, they get presented. Each one of them gets their own butler. Their own Arabian butler. Well, it turns out that they're not really Arabian. The one that Carrie gets, he's actually Indian. From India, he's not Arabian. He just looks Arabian. All right. They each get presented with a butler to cater to their every whim 24 hours a day. Yeah. Yeah, that's how they do things over there. Okay. Can you imagine if it was the other way around? Oh, hell no. They would never make that movie, would they? No. Okay. And the girls noticed that inside the hotel lobby that the international World Cup soccer team, one of the soccer teams is there. I think it's Brazil, but I don't fucking know. But there's a bunch of fucking athletes there. Okay, they're a rugby team or a soccer team or some shit. So of course Samantha gets turned on by that. Okay, and it turns out later on that this team of hard hitting fucking rugby soccer players are all fucking feminists. Yeah, right. Yeah. Exactly. Okay, yeah. Did I tell you that this movie was written by a gay guy? Well, in case you didn't know and couldn't tell, it is. All right. So speaking of Arabic, okay, so of course Miranda tries out her Arabic that she learned on the flight. Okay, and of course she's saying everything wrong. They get presented with their own private elevator. Okay, they get shown around the whole fucking the rooms that they're staying in. Okay, they've got their own bar, their own kitchen. Okay, their own terrace with a beautiful view of fucking Arabia, of the hotel grounds. There's nightclubs in there, there's restaurants in there. He tells her, I've already arranged for all of you to get massages, and I've made reservations for you at this restaurant tonight, So you can get well rested, and tomorrow you can enjoy. We'll wake you up tomorrow. You can enjoy all the luxuries of the hotel and that kind of thing. So yeah, these girls are in fucking vacation heaven here. Okay, they meet their fucking butlers. Okay, Samantha gets a guy named Abdul, who turns out later on to be gay. Okay, Carrie gets Guru, okay, or Garau or something. Yeah, he's the Indian one. Okay, and then Miranda gets some guy named Razir. We never see him. Okay, and then Charlotte gets a guy named Adman. Okay, now they call her Charlotte York. Okay, Charlotte York, Miss York, you will get Adman will be your butler. And then when they're walking away. They asked Charlotte. He's like, why? Carrie asked Charlotte, why did they call you York? Like, you're married. That's your maiden name. She's like, we're in the Middle East. Well, yeah, they are in the Middle East. Okay, not all Arabs hate Jews. Okay, it's just right there. It's just the Palestinians and the Israelis, okay? And for those of you who don't know, okay, Israel was created after World War II by the British government, okay, as so that the Jews can have their own country, finally have their own country, Okay. Well, the problem was that there was already a country there called Palestine. Okay, and so they basically cut their country in half and gave one half to the Jews and let them keep the other half. All right. Well, they didn't like their country half of their country being taken like that. So they've been at war ever since. Okay, the PLO, Yasser Arafat and all that, those guys, and then the fucking the Israelis there. Okay, that's what you always saw when I was growing up in the '80s. What else happened? Who else got bombed in Tel Aviv, in Jerusalem? All that kind of shit. That's what it was. Okay, for those of you, I know that's condensed and it's not 100% accurate what I just said, but that's basically the gist of it. Okay. Israel and Palestine, they have a terrible relationship, okay, and rightfully so, okay. But I don't. Who fucking knows? Who fucking knows? All right. You got to remember that here in our country, in Hollywood and in television, okay, the media. I mean, the media in America was founded by Jews. Okay, they discovered Hollywood. They owned all the movie studios except for one, RKO, because Howard Hughes owned that one. But they established themselves in the entertainment industry. Okay, early on when it first premiered, the radio, television, and of course, motion pictures. Okay, they created all that stuff. Okay, so a lot of what you're going to see in America, as far as which side is right, the Jewish side or the Muslim side, of course they're going to favor the Jewish side. Okay, they're the ones making the fucking movies, so of course they're going to say we're the good guys. They're the bad guys. So of course, so what we get, the information we get here in America is more skewed. It's more skewed as to what's really going on over there. Yes, there are a lot of fucking PLO terrorists out there. Yasser Arafat was a son of a bitch, and he hated America. Okay, yes, he did a lot of bombing, he did a lot of terrorist shit. Absolutely. Okay, but so did the Israelis. Okay, the Israelis were doing the same tactics again as well. Okay, so it's hard to say which one was right. They're both doing the same fucking thing, just to each other. Okay, and every once in a while they would hijack an American airliner or something. But that's all like in the '70s and shit. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into that here. But that's the reason Charlotte changes her name. She doesn't want them to know that she's Jewish, even though she's not really Jewish. She wasn't born Jewish. She converted. Okay, so that's going on. Okay, they have their own private bar and kitchen, their own lounge, their own salon, their own terrace, like I said. Okay, so they're jacked. Okay, they're set up there. Okay, the girls walk accompanied everywhere they go. They're accompanied by their butlers. Their butlers follow them in step everywhere they go. The girls are not allowed to show off their legs in Saudi Arabia or the United Arab Emirates. They're not allowed to show their legs. Okay, in Abu Dhabi, so they have to keep their some sort of skirt or dress covering their legs all the time. All the women are not allowed to show their legs either. Okay, but the American women can show their face; they just can't show their legs. Okay, so that's going on here. Okay, and they walk over. Miranda points out that the robes that the Arab women wear, those black robes that you see them always wearing, those are called abayas. Abayas, and that the hoods that they wear, the veils to cover their face except for their eyes, that's called the niqab. That's the veil. All right. And they are pressured. They are very pressured to cover their shoulders. They can't expose their shoulders at all. Those have to be covered too. Okay, and these women, even though they're American women, okay, they're expected to conform to the standards, the cultural standards of the United Arab Emirates of Abu Dhabi. Okay, and you want to talk about fucking patriarchy, about toxic masculinity? That's it right there. Okay, over there, those fuckers tell women what to do. Any woman talks back, they get their fucking head cut off. All right. So, if you want to bring feminism somewhere, get it out of here and bring it over there. Now, they need it over there, ladies. Get the fuck out of this country and go over there and show them how to really treat women, okay? Get the fuck out of here. I'm looking at you, The View, okay? All you fucking libtards out there that talk about how the men in America press the women so much, the patriot, get your fucking ass over there and help those ladies out because they fucking need it a lot more than the women here do, okay? And that's the fucking truth. All right, enough rant. So they're there, okay, and so one woman, Carrie notices one woman has she's got the niqab and the abaya, but it's stylized. It's got like artwork on it and shit. So I guess she's like, a trendsetter. Who fucking knows? Okay. And then she notices some woman eating fries, but she's got to eat it underneath her veil. That kind of thing. Okay. Meanwhile, Charlotte is obsessed with trying to text Harry. She's trying to text him, because she's worried that he might be fucking the nanny. And of course, she lost her service out there. She can't get service over there. Okay. Because that's going on. Sorry. Later on in the night, they're sleeping. They got Carrie sleeping in one bed, Miranda sleeping in another. Miranda is snoring. Yeah, Miranda snores. Okay, so big surprise. Carrie gets up in the middle of the night. Okay, and she goes to the kitchen to make herself some warm milk, and she gets shocked by the butler. Garou is there, and she's like, ah! He's like, I'm sorry, I did not mean to distress you. He's like, what are you still doing here? He's like, you did not dismiss me. I didn't know I was supposed to do that. Yeah, well, yeah, he's fucking there. He's basically your fucking bodyguard. He's your shadow until you let him go home. So of course, because he's the butler, he offers to make her the warm milk himself. He even offers to put cinnamon in it. He mentions that his wife told him it's good to put cinnamon in the milk when you warm it up. Okay, and she's like, oh, so you're married. He's, where's your wife now? He's like, I'm not keeping you. You can go home now if you want. You can go to your wife. He's like, no, my wife is in India. Every 3 months, if I can afford the plane ticket, I go back there to see her, She's like, oh, well, doesn't it bother you to be away from her so long? He's like, oh, time doesn't mean anything. Whenever I see her, it's like time doesn't matter. I'm a very lucky man. And right there, that kind of touched my heart, okay? Because here's this man who he's not even Arabian. He's Indian, but he lives there, and he's basically a person's servant so that he can earn enough money to take care of his family back in India, and he can't even sometimes he can't even afford the plane ticket to go back home, so he's got to stay away from his wife, in order to fucking provide them with money, but he doesn't see it as a chore. He doesn't see it. And this is a man here, okay? He doesn't see it as a chore. He doesn't see it as an obligation. He doesn't see it as a duty. He sees it as a privilege, to leave his family and be able to provide for them. Even if he can't see them, he can provide for them, and that even though he's separated from his wife, who he loves, that the fact that he can still see his wife makes him feel very special and very happy that he's allowed to do that. Now, you want to talk about some unselfish shit? That's it right there, dude. Oh my God, dude. We need some more men like this. We need more women like this in our country, because a lot of what we have here, when you're used to something, you don't realize how privileged you are to have it. Not everybody's got food in their refrigerator. Not everyone's got a place to fucking live. Okay? Not everyone is married. Not everyone has kids. Not everyone has a car. Not everyone has a job. All right? There's so many things that we take for granted. But here's someone like Carrie who has all of these things, living in luxury, and she's still fucking not happy. And she's still looking for outside things to make her happy. She's still looking for people to act a certain way, magazines to talk about her in a certain way, her friends to look at her a certain way, in order for her to feel good about herself. And it's such bullshit. Here's a man who has none of those things, okay? And he's more happy than Carrie will ever be in her entire life, okay? And that's fucking saying something here, So I'm glad they put that scene in there. I'm glad somebody that was writing this script put that scene in there, okay? Because we needed that. We really did. Okay, get these girls down to earth, He's very grateful for his situation. Okay, there's no pretentiousness to him. There's no snobbery. There's no materialism with him. He's just a good guy. And damn, I wish I could be more like him. There's more men that need to be more people need to be like him. All right. So later on, Samantha thinks that her butler is gay when they're having breakfast the next day. Okay, and she starts calling his name's Abdul, like Paula. So she starts calling him Paula Abdul. Okay, yeah, funny, right? The way that you love me, it's just the way that you love me. Yeah, that one. Yeah, that Paula Abdul, yeah. Because opposites attracting, Yeah, The View. And not The View, no, fucking, American Idol. Okay, anyway. Yeah, she fucked one of the contestants. Okay, yeah, and she got busted for it. You see that drunk interview she did? Okay, anyway. Never mind, Paula Abdul. All right, so yeah, Carrie's also impressed by what Garou told her the night before. Okay, Miranda wants to go to the Sonk, which is basically a market. Okay, it's like a flea market, like a Trader's Village thing. Okay, to go shopping there. Okay, it's basically, like I said, it's a flea market. So they all get so Miranda and Carrie get in the cars to go over there, and Garou warns them before they leave not to not to attempt to buy any black market items. He tells them that guys are going to come up to you and try to sell you shit like watches and stuff, and they'll lead you back to a room, with a lot of fucking bootleg merchandise. Do not buy it; it's illegal. But other than that, yeah, the people there are fine. All right, so they get there, okay, and so they get to the flea market there, and Carrie finds a little shoe stand. Okay, so she starts looking at those. Miranda decides to go buy some fucking spices, so they separate. And she's there trying on these shoes, and she likes them. Okay, and she also wants to buy some eye makeup, so that she can get the Arabian eyes, the mascara thing going on there that the Arabian women have. So she buys some of that, and she asks the guy, the old Arab man, how much it's going to be. And it's basically the American equivalent of $20. And she's like, $20? He's like, yes, ma'am. He's like, oh my God. Like, she's like, oh, hell yeah, Okay, so she fights. Okay, but to make room in her purse for her shoes, she takes out like some stuff. And one of the things she takes out is her passport. And she accidentally leaves it on the counter because the bell goes off. The bell means, I guess it's noon or something, or it's time to fucking pray to Allah or whatever the fuck it means. But she gets distracted and she forgets that she left her passport there on the counter of the shoe stand. So she turns around, walks around, looks around, and then she sees a man, a tall Caucasian man, just the back of him. And there's something familiar about him. And she's just like, just staring at him, in her American clothes, her Dwar fucking tank top on, And the guy is holding some rug, he puts it down, and then he turns around, and it's Aiden! Yes, it's Aiden. Aiden. Yes, we all remember Aiden, don't we? Okay, all right. Yes, it's her ex-boyfriend, Aiden. He is in Abu Dhabi. John Corbett is back as Aiden. Okay, so I'm going to stop this video right here, and I will be back shortly, and we will continue the review of Sex and the City Part 2. All right, so thank you for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.